Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
The CIF Sac Joaquin Section High School football playoffs have reached the quarterfinal round. And tonight, Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week will bring you an exciting matchup from Antelope, as the host Antelope Titans will greet the Whitney Wildcats tonight on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Welcome to Titan Stadium on the campus of Antelope High School here in sunny California. Oh, that's right. It's foggy California now. I'm Will James, along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino. And tonight we're taking special attention on tonight's matchup, which is intriguing in a number of ways, Coach. We broke it down pretty good, and Antelope and Whitney poses a lot of adventure and interest.
Well, it certainly does here. And people are coming in and taking a little longer to get seated here tonight with this fog. And we have a definite promise that it's going to go away. So get your TV cleared and ready to go. This is a great matchup, and Whitney is deceiving with that record, coming off that 6-5 record in the very tough SFL, finishing 3-3 and 6-5 overall, and meeting unbeaten Antelope. And I don't believe anybody's been within 2 touchdowns of them all season long, and you're going to see a great back and a great running game from the Titans.
No doubt. Certainly Zach McNally's Wildcats come in as mild underdogs, you might say, on the road against an unbeaten team. And Mike Byerly's ball club is on a roll at the 9-0 and the 6-0 in league that you mentioned, Jim. Let's take a look at the last outings for these two squads.
Well, Intercom Wildcats went at it, and Wildcats, as you see on your screen, 35-0, scoring in every quarter. Sophomore quarterback Smiley, and you'll see him tonight, had 2 touchdown passes to Roman Floyd, who's a great all-round athlete. You'll see Floyd playing many positions tonight. Takahashi and Young led the rushing attack, and, of course, that defense had a big night, getting 4 picks, and at the end of the night, they held the Tigers to a total of 16 yards rushing while shutting them out 35-0.
Well, in that illustrious history of Intercom, particularly in the Terry Stark reign, that 17 rushing yards has got to easily be the all-time low in school history.
I would think so, Will.
Yeah. And so the host Titans had the week off. They drew a bye as the number 4 seed, but were in action the week before.
Well, yes. In their last game of the season, they entertained the River Valley, or went up to River Valley to play the Falcons up there. And, of course, they amassed 333 yards on the ground. Believe this, averaging 17.5 per carry. Borders had a huge night, 168, 3 TDs, and I don't believe he played at all in the fourth quarter. Williams had another good night, had an 82-yard kickoff return, and Sita Hall grabbed 7 receptions and a touchdown.
You're right about the limited action for Borders. He played just the first half in that ball game. Coach Byerly taking advantage of having the big lead, able to rest his ace back. Well, impact players certainly will be the ultimately key factors tonight. And for visiting Whitney, they have to step it up, Coach.
Well, they do, and they have the guys to do it. Roman Floyd is a gifted all-around player. You'll see him tonight. playing multiple positions as well as defense. Takahashi, the running back, has had a good year runs. He's a vertical runner. He's a one-cut guy, and you'll like seeing him because he runs north-south. Jacob Smiley, the young sophomore quarterback, has got his feet wet all year long, and he doesn't play like a rookie sophomore, believe me. On the Wildcats have, of course, Brandon Wong and Phillips and Parker. Those are top people. Wong can play just about anywhere, but we like him at defense. He and Phillips collectively have over 200 tackles, and Anthony Parker has had a great year at free safety with many picks. So, believe me, they don't score a lot of points, but they play very tough D.
As witnessed, their low point total yielded the entire season long. Now, for the hosts, the Titans, the 9-0 Titans, Mike Byerly's Titans, they bring plenty of impact with their key guys.
Well, let's start with number one. I'll tell you, Karan Borders is the real thing. And probably in his first couple of carries tonight, he'll go over 2,000 yards. He's got 1,900 plus right now. Probably the premier running back in the area. Josiah Bateman, a very talented quarterback coming into his own, particularly the second half of the season. And Brendan Seatahall plays two-way, starts two ways, outstanding wide receiver, and plays tough D. Now on defense, of course, they're anchored with Angelo Gay at nose guard and Xavier Merez at defensive tackle. And the guy that came out of nowhere, Amir Farm, started out as a backup guy but kept getting better week in, week out, and whenever he had the opportunity, and now is one of the leading tacklers on the football team at that outside linebacker spot.
Well, certainly it's altogether proper to praise Borders to the heavens with that tremendous rushing year he's had, but pay particular attention this evening to Borders' buddies. That would be his offensive line, a massive offensive line, and they blast big holes in the opposition. So you might want to take a closer peek at that. Now, as far as the importance of certain things, you have the keys, Coach.
Well, let's go to Whitney. Let's start with them first. They got to score early. You don't want to get behind with this Antelope Ball Club. Score early. And, of course, don't make mistakes. That first drive that they have is very important, and they don't want to play catch-up football. And then right after that, they got to stay balanced with that run and pass game. And for the most part this year, they have stayed balanced. They have a decent passing game, 4 outstanding receivers, and young Smiley is coming into his own. And you'll see tonight he's going to be under heavy pressure but doesn't play like a soft. Get the ball to the playmakers, and they have those playmakers on the outside. Get the ball in their hands and let them play. And, again, limit big play Borders. Big play Borders strikes from any angle. He can run north-south through you, and he has the speed to finish a run.
Well, he has to be the Wildcats' primary concern on defense. I don't see any other way around that. And as far as the excellent Antelope passing attack, I think both passing games are going to be neutralized to a significant measure tonight with this thick fog. So we'll see if those conditions remain the same. Well, I do believe that we have time to look at Domino's Dozen, which, as we know, are the ultimate in weekly rankings. Oh, well, let's back up a little bit.
Well,
I'm sorry, Jim. Let's look at the keys for Antelope, for heaven's sakes.
Well, okay. We cannot forget Coach Byerly's keys. He's going to pressure the quarterback, Smiley, and put all the heat he can on him and force him to throw into coverage. Tight pass coverage is what they're going to try to do. Play tight in the secondary, along with that front line pass rush, and hopefully create some turnovers and get a few picks along the way. Turnovers will be a big thing. Sustain the blocks up front. They do have the big front, as you mentioned, Will, and certainly they're capable of opening up those holes, and they got the backs, particularly Borders, who can get through and get up the field. And then win the one-on-one battles, whether it be in the secondary with the receivers with the Whitney receivers and limit mistakes. That's big. Both mental and physical mistakes, penalties, etc., come into play. We don't want them to separate the teams, but that's what happens in close ball games.
In relation to the tight pass coverage, pay particular attention to a one-on-one matchup. Trayvon Watson, 27, of Antelope, one-on-one defending against the Wildcats' ace receiver, number 17. And that would be the fellow we've heard about all week long, Jim.
Yes, and
Floyd is...
Yeah, Floyd is the real thing. He really is number 17. Outstanding athlete, has got great speed, can get up and catch in a crowd, runs great routes, and watch him in motion where they may give him the ball. He's a decent ball carrier as well. Now, my matchups are as follows. That Titan big front versus the Wildcat D. Border Patrol, how do you guard against Borders having a field day? If he's under 200 yards a game, that's low for him. Turnover battle is important, and pressure on the quarterbacks, etc. The Titan wide receivers against or lining up like we talked about against that Wildcat secondary, and Whitney passing game versus that Titan pressure. And can Smiley hold up under pressure and getting the ball back to his big play people?
That's among the big questions tonight. So heavy pass pressure expected by both teams. However, the passing game might be neutralized again with this fog element. Well, I think we have a chance here to look at your vaunted picks, Imperator.
Well, I think we do too.
Maybe not. Well, they're giving us the cue for coming back after break, so we're going to do that. But you stay right there, dialed in, because up next is our colleague Lauren Goodman with more on tonight's big playoff game. Stay with us.
$145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Jason, let's go see your room.
I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Well, welcome back to Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Along with Jim Domino and Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James. We're here at Antelope High for this D2 quarterfinal. Let's turn our attention down to Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Well, Will, tonight you can barely see the teams warming up, but both teams have now entered the field, and I think it's going to be a special ball game here in round 2. Tonight, both teams are led by fairly new coaches, but they both have a game plan that they feel like can execute and get them to the next round. So let's start with the visiting Wildcats. They are led by no other than Zach McNeely. He's coming in from the Sierra Foothill League. He's in his 4th year since 2008. Now, his winning record is 14-26, but he reached the 2019 SJS D2 final game, which I actually was in attendance, where they took a loss to Elk Grove on the bottom side of this bracket. So the Wildcats want to come in tonight and kind of get their footing under them after that big win they had last week. The Titans now are led by Mike Byerly, Capital Valley Conference. They went 9-0 this year, and now they got an opportunity as a first-year coach to get a first-round bye. So they actually got to scout last week's game and get some little tidbits against their opponent that they're playing tonight against Whitney. Now, this is not the first time these two teams have met. Actually, in their last meeting in 2017, they met here in Titan Stadium, and it was a slow start, but the Titans awakened and blast Whitney. Visiting Wildcats lead 7-3 after 1. Titans scored 28 unanswered, lead 31-7 after 3. The Titans rushed for 307 yards, plus 5 TDs. Robert Scampers was scored 3 of those TDs. Garcia also booms a 45-yard field goal to give you a 38-14 lead for Antelope. But now this isn't the first time these two teams have met. Dating back to 2010, they actually have 9 previous meetings. The first meeting, now this is their first meeting since 2017. Antelope leads the series 6-2. Titans and Wildcats split the first 4 games 2-2, and Antelope wins the last 4, which gives them that 6-2 lead over the Wildcats. But tonight, Will, it's for all the marbles, and this is for that next round in the playoffs. Back to you.
Yes, thanks, Goody. It is for the marbles to secure a spot in the semifinals next weekend. And again, the visiting Wildcats appear to be underdogs based on their 6-5 mark, but again, we have to emphasize the tougher competition in that Sierra Foothill League, Coach.
Yes, very definitely. Week in, week out, that Sierra Foothill League, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. They knock off one another, and a 3-3 is not an embarrassment in that league. Believe me, it's deceiving. They'll come in here and I'm sure give Antelope all they want. But again, as mentioned earlier, you have to rate the home team a definite favorite in this ball game, having gone unbeaten and at home.
Well, despite the thick fog you see and the somewhat unpleasant conditions outside, there's been an excellent turnout here at Antelope High School. The outstanding marching band will be on hand, 52 members strong, in an evening where it's approximately 56 degrees here near kickoff time, and that number should drop and grow colder as the evening progresses. In uniform this evening, host Antelope is dressed 39 players, Whitney 35. Both rosters are extra long, with the addition of some recruits brought up from the JV ball club, some of the better sophomores. So they have filled out those overall rosters pretty good, but tonight we're mainly going to see the veteran players based on the sheer importance of this game.
Very definitely. And, you know, many of the playoff teams have brought up sophomores up and get a little varsity experience, get their feet wet, so to speak. And in some cases, a few of them have got to play and got their opportunity. And this could happen here tonight. I know we have a young Joe Halk, Wesley's younger brother here, and I'm sure that he's anxious to show he's pretty good size, and I think he's going to see a few snaps tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is one of those ball games where even though there's a game plan set in place and veteran players are well acquainted with their assignments, there still is room for some new wrinkles, even in the magnitude of a playoff game.
Very definitely. And I recall way back years ago when I was coaching, and we brought up a few for the playoffs, and some of those young sophomores were on a special team, and They earned a lot of respect, and the following year they were starters, but they never forget that opportunity to see action in a varsity game as a sophomore and a playoff game.
Well, with that shot right there, you can have a good idea of the density of the fog that has rolled into the Antelope area and has settled into the basin here at Titan Stadium. So, again, you'll be able to see for yourselves as the evening progresses. Now the temperatures drop to 54, just a whisper of a breeze, you might say, from the northwest. Humidity, as you see, and limited visibility because of this heavy fog that came in.
Well, Will, I think one thing that's going to be interesting tonight is the special teams play, the kicking game. And unless this fog lifts, the kicking game, particularly the punting game, could play take some strange bounces. And if you were coaching here tonight, you may not want to receive a punt under these conditions because when the ball gets its height, you may not be able to see it or follow it.
That's an excellent point, and we'll see how both coaches elect to handle those special teams opportunities. Stay with us. We're going to step back for a moment, a short break, and return for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What are you doing?
Pouring out this milk?
That's fog. You can't put that in your pipes. It'll totally ruin them.
What's fog?
Fog, or fats, oils, and grease, range from a number of items that could damage your pipes, such as fatty foods, oils and grease, milk and dairy products.
How do I dispose of it then?
To properly dispose of grease, wait till it's cooled and pour it in a can. Then throw it away. Also remember to throw out scraps as well.
What am I supposed to do with this?
I can take that off your hands. To learn more on how to protect your pipes, visit sacksewer.com.
Rivers and streams support many land and sea animals. These species need fresh and clean water to sustain life, and many eat the fish that live in the rivers. However, many of these animals can die or become seriously ill due to the seemingly harmless water. Why is this? Many people decide to flush their unused or expired medication down the toilet, which carries the harmful chemicals inside of them into the rivers, poisoning the animals and destroying the ecosystem. Please take your unused medication to biohazard waste containers in order to dispose of them properly. Visit don'tflushyourmeds.com for more information.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome aboard. For those of you just dialing us in, this is Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're at Antelope High School this evening for a key Division II quarterfinal round football playoff game as the host Titans square off this evening against the visiting Whitney Wildcats. And Jim, it's not often we get to see a 2,000-yard rusher during the course of any of our seasons, but tonight is an exception to that. And having seen Borders several weeks ago, I have a very good idea of what he can do, as he is the section's leading rusher.
Well, Goran Borders is the real thing. He's already getting some offers and has another year to play. And 31 touchdowns, averaging 11 per carry, and putting this team on his shoulders. Came up in his younger days as a lineman and got converted to running back, and you can see why. He's a fine young man and leads this ball club. Like I said, he's a tough one to stop. He can run hard up the middle, and he can finish a play strong with his speed. I had that opportunity to see him in the spring game versus Intercom back in April, and I was very impressed with how hard he ran. And certainly he's going to be quite a treasure to watch, and you people out there take a good look at him. And, of course, you're as good as your line, Will, and you mentioned that. And he's got the people up front, doesn't he?
Oh, he does indeed. Borders' buddies in that O-line, they averaged 281 across the front, and some imposing size dimensions here. Khalid Francis, 6'7", 370. Joshua Moore, 6'7", 240. And their guards are mobile, and they've got a dynamite center. So Gunnarsson and Gay at the guards, Perkins at the center position. And we're going to see some backup tackle duty also from Mark Korolev on that left tackle position. So that group right there needs to be credited fully and often as far as being such a major significant force in this Titans offensive attack, and certainly they should be rated as Borders buddies.
Well, I'm sure he's taken them to lunch a few times, and certainly they're well worth it. You're as good as your people up front, and in some cases, some of those people up front, if I recall correctly, we've been doing Antelope football for quite some time. That looked familiar, and perhaps they had older brothers play here back a few years. And there are some familiar names. The Moore and the Gay, etc., are both very familiar. And they always seem to have a great running back here. And we saw a great one here that went on to Sac State in Dozier, I believe, and had quite a career here.
Well, yes, they've had some tremendous teams here and some great individual stars out of that backfield. Now, from a coaching position, Imperator, with these conditions not expected with the dense fog, to what measure do you think it'll affect the passing game for each squad? And is it severe enough right now to revamp your game plan?
I don't know about totally revamping. I think they're going to try through things early and see if they can follow the ball and see the ball. I think that if they do pass, they should pass on early downs and kind of trying to keep it in that 5, 10, 15 range and not try to throw the bombs, because once you put a lot of air in that ball now, you may not see it coming down in the fog. So I foresee either the check-offs to their backside of the backfield and maybe the short hitches, the shallow crosses, etc., where the ball's going to come out early. So it's going to be interesting here now. Whitney is definitely going to need a balanced attack to beat Antelope, really. Antelope can pound you. They can throw. Don't sell Bateman short. He's a good quarterback. You saw him early in the year. And they've got capable, and they're very strong on the outside. Williams and really Set the Hall and Little and Setchow are very, very capable, aren't they?
Absolutely. No, they are underrated and excellent in their own right. You mentioned a good point, though, about seeing the ball through the fog. Whitney won the coin toss. They deferred. So Antelope will receive first. But right now we're going to focus our attention on the national anthem and a special guest vocalist, Samira Thomas, an Antelope High School senior, tonight as our vocalist. Antelope senior Samira Thomas, an outstanding rendition of our Star Spangled Banner, and you hear in the background the marching band, 52 strong. Let's take a look at who's going to monitor this evening's game and keep it fair and square. From the NCOA, veteran referee Terry Lockett heading this group. Our umpire tonight, Jason Gaines. Mike Phillips will be our head linesman. The line judge, Theron Caldwell. Harold Davis, our side judge. And in the back judge department, Kurt Bayer. So we are ready to open this ball game. Whitney will be kicking off. They're wearing their road whites, trimmed in maroon, kicking from our left to our right. And again, visibility will leave much of tonight's coverage in question. However, some dangerous deep receivers dispatched, including Williams Watson and Kieran Borders. There's the boot by Vandenacker. The return coming to the near side. And outside speed wedges some good field position for the host Titans near their own 40. So good return on the opening kick. And we'll take a look at that potent, explosive Antelope offensive unit. 26 yards on that return by Demarion Williams. 1st and 10. Football at the 38-yard line of the Titans. First play from scrimmage. What do you think's going to happen here? Well, some movement along the line there, and it's going to dock Antelope 5. Movement by Borders cost him the 5. Make it 1st and 15. So they'll snap from the Antelope 33. They got the right side overloaded. More movement. We haven't had a play. So they trade 5-yard penalties in the first.
Fire snap, encroachment on a defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Terry Lockett announces the penalty.
I think they think they're not going to be seen, Will, in the fog.
Up the gut, right along the near hash mark. Nice little gain right there. And there's our starting offense. As you see there, that top line loaded. Okay, 2nd and 6, gain of 4. A pass deflected but caught along the near sideline. Antelope fortunate to come up with that. They pick up 6, and that should be good for a first down.
Yes, they went to Sita Hall, and a great fake by Bateman. Quite frankly, a lot of the defense thought Borders had the ball.
Well, here's the Whitney defense, and they've got their hands full tonight. 3rd down upcoming. They need 1. They need to get a little bit closer to midfield to sustain here. Turn and give. He cannot find the hole. Very close. He'll need a spot here.
I think he got the motion, barely.
So Jackson Jones assisting on the tackle. Let's see where they spot him at the 49.
They move the chains. First down.
Okay. 1st and 10. from the Antelope 49. In case you've just dialed in, welcome aboard to Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're just underway in the first quarter. Antelope with the football, Whitney defending. The right side run is stuffed and shoved back. Maybe progress to get no gain out of that. Well, so far, Whitney has taken care of that line of scrimmage.
Well, they are, and they're getting Whitney's getting a rush from the outside. They're coming from outside in, penetrating in the backfield. Wesley, Halk, and Pierce, and those outside backers are also coming in from the outside, trying to get Borders before he gets going.
Play fake. Roll. Look. Oh, my goodness.
He has a great fake inside. It looked like they picked up another first down. That's a great fake by Bateman.
They did indeed. And can you blame the defense? If you even look at Borders,
yeah,
they have to
respect him.
Let's take another look if we can see how this play materialized. And again, there's the play fake.
That's a great call by Coach Byerly on early downs, not waiting for third down.
That's good for 17 yards and a first down. So this initial Antelope possession moving nicely. They come to the near side and hit behind the line of scrimmage. Look at that. And we've been looking for him to surface. And, boy, I'll tell you, number 5, Brandon Wong is going to be all over the field this evening, and that was a tremendous hit right there.
Well, he is. He's a great ball player. He shed that block like nothing and ended up with a loss, and now you have 2nd and long.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14 here.
Two of the best linebackers around. As you see the play again develop, they put a man in motion. He's going wide. Watch Wong come from his linebacker spot. He is quick, and he closes. He and Phillips have over 200 tackles apiece, both going over the century mark this year.
From the near hash marks. Passing down. Great protection for Bateman. He throws the long ball to the end zone. Overthrown.
Well, there was pretty decent coverage down in the end zone. Tried to beat him on the post on the post down the field.
Williams with the intended receiver, a real speed merchant.
Once again, when you put the nose of that football up and then it comes out of the fog to you, I'm not making excuses for these players, Will. Tough to really follow and focus it in.
3rd down. They need 14 to sustain. Back to throw. Short this time, but well defended and stuffed.
Well, they close to the ball really fast.
Yes, they did. Williams, the receiver on that, but nothing doing. Well defended. So it's going to bring up a 4th.
That's the other linebacker we're talking about, Carson Phillips. I'll tell you, they are all over the field. Have another look at this. Bateman back to throw. Gets that ball off inside, but there is Carson Phillips, and he had some help as well.
Okay, big 4th down here. They need 13.
They make quick kick. Nope.
To throw. Big rush. He gets away. Not quite all the way away. But they avoid a huge loss. And the ball goes over on downs. A tough defensive stand as the drive fizzles. Let's take another look at that.
You see Bateman rolling right and no one to throw to, and does a great job getting out of trouble, but not enough to move the chains. So Whitney, on the first drive of the ball game by Antelope, stops the Titans. And they've got to feel real good about that because Antelope on that first drive almost consistently throughout the year has scored on their first possession.
Well, they did take 5 minutes off the clock, but came up empty on that. Now we're going to switch around, and we'll set this Whitney offense for you in a moment. Run play to the near side, turn the corner, and a gain to about the 40-yard line. Couple on that.
Takahashi bounced outside. He's known for his one-cut vertical running.
Well, there you see their offensive alignment. The sophomore QB, Jacob Smiley, Takahashi, the leading rusher, second leading rusher, and, of course, Parker and Phillips also key producers. And let's pick up number 17 on Whitney as soon as we can. Short yardage play to the 45. First down for the Wildcats. Let's see where they spot it. Probably a yard into Antelope territory. So this Antelope D on the spot right now to try to shut down this drive that's developing. Three-man front. You see there Merez, Gay, and Perkins. Rampaging linebackers, 2 and 2. Look for Farms to be a threat to blitz, and there's your 4-deep secondary. Hitch pass, left side, complete. And around the corner for a little bit, near midfield, and
Whitney showing a little speed, being able to bounce back. Antelope had 8 in the box saying, hey, you're not going to run against us. And he checked off outside to his, but looks like we got a penalty going against the Wildcats here.
We got illegal procedure. 5 in the backfield on the offense. The 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Terry Lockett, the veteran referee, with the call. 5 in the backfield. Procedure of the illegal kind, -5 on the Wildcats. Make it 1st and 15 from their 41. He wants to throw, and he's throwing the deep ball. He's got a man out in front. Incomplete.
Wow.
That was right on target.
It was.
And
very impressive pass to 21 Anthony Parker.
Yep. That was a strike. And whether the fog disrupted Parker or not,
well, he beat both safeties. He was deep. He beat both safeties, Martinez and Sita Hall. He had them beat. And Smiley showed me something on that without really much of an effort. Like I said, those deep balls are tough to catch on a night like this.
Well, he put that right where it needed to be. Incomplete, 2nd and 15. I imagine there's some grumbling across the way on what could have been a big gain. Nevertheless, 2nd down, need 15. He wants to throw again. We shall see how this continues tonight. They do like to throw the football. Now 3rd and 15 after the incompletion. Okay, 3rd and 15, a tough situation.
Very tough, and they're coming on pretty strong if he can see the ball, and I wouldn't be surprised if he runs a draw or screen here because he's getting pressure here from that Antelope D.
He's got Floyd out to the near side. As Watson backs up a little bit now. Smiley's pressured, running away from traffic, and throws a strike out to the right side for a completion into Antelope territory at the Titan 46 on a nice strike out there, delivered by the fellow who couldn't quite get to that long bomb, Anthony Parker. But we got a holding penalty against the Cats that's going to nullify that fine play.
I'm impressed. Watch this replay. Watch Smiley here throwing on the run and finding his receiver, Parker, right there. Look at this. Flushes the pocket and hits him on a nice pass, but unfortunate holding.
So Terry Lockett dropped the hammer on the Wildcats. 3rd and 25.
Well, the penalties have hurt them. They've put them in a hole on this drive.
Correction. Make that 3rd and 31. And that's more like a mile. He sets up and fires out to the left sideline.
Once again, the downfield pass is going to be very difficult tonight. I think they got to stay, both teams have got to stay tight. And as mentioned, Will, in that intermediate zone in that 5, 10, 15 area.
Well, this is even a more difficult situation coming up here for the Whitney offense.
Well, they're going to punt the football. The question is, can that punt return man see the ball?
Well, you suggested that the wise thing to do would be just not field it at all, stay away and not risk a fumble or a bobble. So this is coming on a 4th and 31 from the Whitney 25. Step up and high but short punt to the near side, out of bounds, way out of bounds.
Very short punt.
They're going to mark it out like at the Whitney 40. So at the Whitney 41 from the 25. So a 16-yard punt, basically.
Well, I'm a little surprised that he would not kick straight ahead.
14-yard punt, setting up the Titans beautifully.
Yeah.
Is this a called timeout, or what are we looking at here? No, they're just a hustle play here.
I'm surprised he went for the sideline, Will. Under these conditions, why not get it up high? And I don't care if it's down the center of the field. It'd be a little difficult to feel the ball.
Okay, back on the attack. 1st and 10 Titans. Opening up from the Is there some confusion out here or what? Are officials trying to...
There's another penalty against
it sure
Whitney.
is.
That's their fourth penalty here in the first 5-6 minutes of the football game.
Well, Terry should let us know what happened. Something out of bounds, perhaps, but now from the 39, penalties hurting Whitney here. Left side juke move, a little bit extra. They make the 35. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Well, thus far, again, early in this first quarter, the Whitney D has kept Borders away from the big play thus far, but at any given moment, he's capable of breaking one. But they're right there. I'm impressed on their team pursuit.
Another look at that, and again, tough gang tackling.
They're playing that 4-3 defense. Look for those linebackers.
Well, they blast off the right side, and that is stuffed pretty good, too, right at about the 35-yard line. Borders, they were looking for him. Prior to that play, he was only 4 shy of 2,000 yards rushing.
Well, Wesley Houck, two-way starter at tackle and defensive end, closed down real fast and got to Borders before he really had a chance to get going here.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. I'm sure this is 2-down territory for Antelope. They overload the left side to the short side with 3 receivers. Play fake, big rush. Bateman trying to step away and cannot. He's sacked at the 40.
Parker came in from his spot here. They blitzed the free safety, and Parker made a great play. He and Wong, I'll tell you, they are quick. they make tackles all over the field. You watch Parker come in from his free safety spot.
Somebody missed a block. Make it 4th and 11 upcoming now. Big rush on Bateman, and he's pounded hard at midfield. No time.
Well, I'll tell you, 53 was all over him. Ian Don all over him. He shed his block so quickly. They are pretty quick on defense. Let me tell you, impressive. Here he comes.
Ian Don. Superb defense there. The ball goes over on downs, and what looked like a great opportunity fizzled.
Well, right now the scheme that Coach McNally has drawn up for his defense has been working, but more than that, the execution and the overall team speed is impressive tonight.
Thus far, a stalemate here throughout the first quarter with 2:39 left. The defenses and the fog prevailing thus far. Run play, bounce it outside. Nice job redirecting on that, and Takahashi saw the daylight was jammed up the middle where the hole was, so he took it outside.
Well, it looks like he stepped out of bounds.
Another holding penalty signaled, and they are really getting stung hard with penalty yardage.
They certainly are.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
It's their 4th penalty of the evening. At least 2 holds.
Well, it's put them in the hole, period. And because they look like they're capable of moving the football, but the penalties are hurting them and taking away their plus yardage.
Well, they've been docked 35 yards on those 4 penalties.
Well, once again, impressive running by Takahashi. Good blocking up front by the front 5. In a hole here with long yardage. Let's see if Smiley comes out throwing here on first down.
They work to the left. The pile shovels over to the left. Short yardage play. They get perhaps a yard into Antelope territory starting from their own 42. So good little burst there.
Roman Floyd took a pretty good hit there. He not quite got the yardage back, but he still he picked up about maybe 3 or 4.
Less than 2 minutes now remaining here in the first period. No score. Neither club able to overcome conditions or the opposing defense yet. He wants to throw, winds up and fires deep. Incomplete.
He had a man open again. They beat the safety again, deep. He just got to get him the ball.
They had 2 receivers converging from opposite sides on that. Smiley now 0 for 4 tonight upstairs.
Yes, he is. But as you mentioned, Will, that first one, he put the ball right in Parker's hands. And they ran a double post there, one from each side. On that safety. So here they are in 3rd and long again, and unfortunately those penalties have hurt them and put them in a hole. They started this drive virtually at midfield with a short field to go.
Okay, they're looking at a 3rd and 13 now. I don't think so. Heavy pressure applied that time. Not enough blockers to keep out that rush. Takahashi saw too many defenders.
Well, once again, if they're in a punting situation, they've got to let punter Roman Floyd just let him boot the ball and not worry about keeping the ball away from borders.
Well, that was excellent pass rush. 4th and 16 now. So Floyd back in punt formation inside his 30. Gets it away high and has good carry to it. They're letting it bounce along the far sideline. Excellent punt and roll.
Well, that's what you got to do. Just let the air out and not worry about trying to kick out of bounds or a particular spot, because most likely it's not going to be fielded.
So the ball goes over to Antelope, and with just 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's a scoreless tie. Defensive battle here in the first frame. 34 yards on the Floyd punt. And we'll see what Bateman and company have in mind here.
Wow, he took about made 3 or 4 misses in there,
yes,
trying to put him down.
Now that's the kind of a play that's merely going to go down as a short yardage run, but boy, the skill set there, and we'll credit Jackson Jones for part of that stop.
Well, again, there are 3 backers, Phillips, Wong, and Jones. Wong and Phillips are getting notice. They've had a phenomenal year, each going over the 100 tackle mark. And, of course, Phillips has had 2 picks, 2 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries to go along with his 110 tackles.
Well, now Borders has surpassed the 2,000-yard mark at 2,002. We end the first quarter and encourage you to stay put. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Plenty of color and pageantry here at Titan Stadium on the campus of Antelope High School for tonight's Division II second round playoff, as host Antelope takes on visiting Whitney. From their own 23, Titans back on the attack and show double wides to the near side. Their run game has been completely stymied so far. Borders has another carry, but so far yet to break anything longer.
No, and he's not getting those holds that he's been getting all year long. And I got to credit that front 4 of Ian Don, Wesley Houck, Noah Garcia, Nathan Pierce are holding their own.
To the near side, and just nothing doing there. Excellent lateral pursuit defensively by Brandon Wong and 3 other Wildcats. So it's going to bring up 4th down. They were looking at a 3rd and 6 there. Another look here at the sweep.
There you see Borders going wide. Nice play. Parker stayed with him, and Borders not easy to stay with.
4th and 2, punt formation shown by the Titans. Single safety is Floyd, stationed at the Whitney 40.
Opportunity for Whitney to get the ball in great field position. I don't see them fielding this punt. Be very surprised unless it's low trajectory.
That's a booming punt right at Floyd, and he's going to take it. Room to the near side. a couple of cuts, and he's finally driven back after crossing midfield stripe into Titan territory at about the Antelope 48.
Well, here's Whitney now. If they can avoid the penalties, in great position here, a short field right at midfield on these punt exchange. Special teams here right now are playing a very important role early in this football game.
The return, 15 yards after a 32-yard punt, and good field position here for the Whitney Wildcats. Again, this has been a grudging defensive battle. Both teams' defense have been terrific so far. Something's got to give. Wong out to the near side. He's got 5 grabs, 4 of them for touchdowns. They better keep an eye on him. There's a pass to the right side. Short yardage. They gain a few on that.
Well, that's what they've got to do. They've only picked up probably 3 or 4 yards on that play, but they've got to nickel and dime, like I say, so the receiver can pick up the ball and stay away from the high trajectory passes.
They get 3, make it 2nd and 7. Okay, momentarily we're going to shift our attention down to the field after this play coming up here. It's a 2nd and 7. Boy, Smiley wheeling and dealing. Okay, Lauren Goodman has something for us. Goody?
Well, guys, you see down on the field right now, you can barely see the players, and the coaches are now getting into some disputes with the officials. So that's something to look for going forward in the rest of the game. Obviously, the fog is not lighting up, and the coaches are now having some complaints about where the ball is being positioned and some of the calls that's being made on the field. Back to you.
Thanks, Goody. We'll keep an eye on that illegal procedure as the penalties continue to pile up.
On Whitney, that's probably got to be 40 yards or more, the 5th penalty.
Boy.
That's hurt them.
I can imagine how head coach Zach McNally is reacting to that.
Well, not very good. They went from 2nd and 7 now to 2nd and 12. And we'll see what they do with Jacob Smiley, the young sophomore quarterback here. He shows a lot of poise. He's had a good year. Hard running at Takahashi, but he's been unable to get the bombs down the field to his 4 good receivers.
Turn and give. Straight handoff. Good power, but tough D to meet that play. Takahashi with the carry. He makes midfield on that. Gain of a couple.
It's tough running inside. That he did pick up 4 or 5. Got some of that penalty back. And for his size, he runs hard. It's not listed as that big, Takahashi, at 5'10", well, 180. But he does run hard.
3rd and 10 from midfield. Key play. Straight back to throw. A bullet to the right side. Nearly picked. Great D right there. And that could be, it is Watson. Trayvon Watson. We were looking for that matchup that we advertised in the pregame. Now 1 for 6 through the air for Smiley. But Watson did a beautiful job of getting the inside position there.
Yes, he did. And he's got plenty of time to throw.
Fourth and 10 from midfield. What you gonna do? And they're going to talk it over. So Whitney calls it time, and we'll step back ourselves. Don't wander off. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
4th and 10. They talked it over for a mere 15 seconds, and now...
Well, they extended their penalty, a little too long delay of game now with their 6th penalty. And here we have quite a struggle that, for defense that's holding Borders to 15 yards and 5 carries. The net yardage for Antelope, 27. Net yardage, Whitney, 17 total.
4th and 15 upcoming. Quick kick. Booted up along the right sideline. Look at that downfield coverage by the Wildcats. And it's going to roll dead inside the 10 to about the 7. Tremendous job.
Well, nice job by, it looked like Floyd back there. And no one to receive the kick.
48 yards on the kick and roll.
How nice. Yeah, in this game here being a defensive struggle, field position is going to play a big role here as we see this first half. And unless conditions change, special teams, field position are big in this football game.
Well, you can best believe this fog is thick because there's excellent illumination here at Titan Stadium with these 6 standards and testimony that, this is a terrific facility. That fog has got to be super thick. So Titans backed up. 1st and 10 from their 6. Danger zone.
Well, there's what the real Borders runs like. He ran over a couple of people. Borders, number 1 for about, looks like about 8. Unless he moved the chains. Notice the big line splits there, different than the first series. Huge line splits up front. There's going to be some natural holes unless they adjust to it.
Oh, boy. Takahashi took that full blast, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. 2nd 1 after a gain of 9.
Borders left and Borders right. But I think he picked enough to move the chains, Will. He didn't need much. Borders number 1, I picked up a couple of things.
Well, he's going to get lots of carries tonight. Okay, let's take a look at this.
There's Borders picking up maybe a yard and a half, 2 yards. Wong all over the field making tackles. He's very capable. He's one of the few people that can bring down Borders one-on-one.
Okay, 1st down play. To the near side, near the 25-yard line.
Borders again for 5. Borders number 1 for 5. He's starting to get loose now. But give credit to that Whitney D. They get to the football quick.
He had to change direction again. Another cut. He tough back right there, taking on the whole defense. So he's well over 2,000 now for the season. Bateman to throw. Upstairs has a man out there. Oh, my goodness. Under tremendous pressure, Bateman threw a pretty good strike.
Well, he did. The problem is receivers trying to pick up the ball. And I still say when you come from out of the fog and in, it's very difficult for a receiver to really pick the ball up.
Well, they're calling it a 3rd and 10 from the 23. Bateman to throw, gets pressured.
Well, it's still going long. Wide open.
Got a man out there, and it's complete. A breakaway at the 20. Here's a foot race. Floyd's after him and can't catch him. Touchdown, Titans. That's Williams, the speed merchant, the junior speedster we spoke of. 78 yards. Bateman to Williams. That lit him up. Well, they defied the conditions here. There's Demarion Williams. He's had a number of big plays this season.
Impressive throw by Bateman. Got great protection. He got the ball down and let Williams run to the football.
Okay, now for the PAT. Bateman, the kicker, punched on the way. Got it. At the 7-minute mark, early second. The Titans break out, and here's how they did it. Bateman to Williams for 78. Nice camera work, guys. Tremendous. On the dead run.
Yes, he did. And he's got the speed to cash it in.
We'll be right back for more of the Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, the long scoring drought finally broken here on the big play, the bomb. Bateman to Williams covering 78 yards. 7-0. Antelope. Set to kick off now. Ranging to the near sideline, nearly stepping out of bounds. Running laterally and trying to pick up some blocking. Pretty good return out across the 30-yard line.
Lincoln Pfeiffer, number 19, who fills in at wide receiver. Nice return.
$13 yards on the return. Nice cutback getting to the middle of the field.
Well, Williams, we talked about those one-on-ones in our pregame talk. And, of course, Williams got the best of the Floyd at that time, beating Floyd deep. And, of course, Bateman got the ball and hit him right on the run.
Okay, first down from the 33. They run the football and work to the right, and it's just crunched. He gets across the 35, gain of a couple, 2 to 3 maybe, to the 36. Give him 3 on that. 2nd and 7. Oh, that woke him up. That was a beautifully thrown ball by Bateman. And it didn't look like Williams had trouble picking that one up.
No, he didn't. It was right on the money. All you got to do is put the hands out there. The ball came right in there. Great throw by Bateman.
2nd down, 2nd and 7. Out to the right sideline.
That's what you're going to see more of. But throwing to the short side of the field, getting the ball out quickly. Because now your receiver's picking up the ball and your quarterback doesn't need much time.
Well, first down. 1st and 10 upcoming for Whitney. Ball parked at the 46-yard line. Still early here in the second quarter, the 5:49 mark. 7-0 Antelope after a scoreless first.
Not much there.
That play was jammed up pretty good. Well, they're giving Lorenzo Young a carry here and there on the season. He's run for 243 yards and a touchdown. So 2nd and 7 from the Titan 49.
That's her second first down. Good effort there. Good second effort spinning. Yes.
That was kind of an awkward handoff right there.
It looked like a counter back from Takahashi. Yes, a very delay.
Gee whiz, are they taking a long time to get this play off?
After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, the 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Wow.
The penalties are hurting them big time.
Minus 15 on that. Gee whiz, that's a lot of penalty yardage. So 3rd and 18 from the 38. He wants to throw. Big throw. Oh, just overthrows Floyd.
That's a pretty good throw there by Smiley. Just out of the hands, out of the reach of Floyd.
So that'll bring up 4th and 18 after the incompletion on the bomb. And Trayvon Watson doing a pretty good number on Roman Floyd.
Excellent coverage.
Just a sophomore. Now 4th and 18. They're showing punt.
Well, they're too deep. They've got to punt the ball away.
They do. Pretty good hit there. So tough D by the Titans. So they get on top with the score and then get the hold.
That's big here, because if they can get that ground game going with only 4 minutes remaining in the half here, why, they can go in halftime. They don't necessarily have to score. Yes. Will they try to score? Yes. But it doesn't hurt going in 7-0, controlling the football.
32-yard punt sets up shop for the Titans at their own 30 with a first down. And as you say, Jim, nearly 4.5 minutes remaining. And they'd certainly enjoy a 7-0 halftime lead, but if they can score again, that would be significant.
Big line splits up front, usually to give the ball to Borders. With that huge line between A and B gap right is huge.
He's through the hole. Almost to the 40-yard line. Gain of nearly 10. Let's see what's happening here. Are they going to bring it back? That was a good opening right there. They forced him outside and made the stop. Okay, gain of 8, 2nd and 2. They've got all 3 timeouts remaining.
Nowhere to go for Borders.
Well, no doubt this has been his absolute toughest ball game.
Wesley Halk and those linebackers coming up quick.
They lose a yard, make it 3rd and 3 from the 37-yard line. Just a shade over 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Bateman throws. Deep receiver out there. And I believe he made the grab.
He sure did, and Bateman was under heavy pressure, had to throw the ball off his back foot, but that corner was there but never turned around. Here he comes under heavy pressure. He goes deep again.
Cedar Hall, the receiver, diving catch right along the sideline.
But Takahashi was there.
It's a heck of a catch. 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 33.
That puts him in great field position. Clock stopped at 2:34.
We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert? Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Well, that was a 30-yard gain on the diving grab by Cedar Hall to set up the Titans here at the 33-yard line. Jim, despite the fog, Bateman's hit a couple key completions here.
Yes, they're giving him good protection up front, and he's getting the ball down, and the receivers look like they're getting used to the fog. They're picking up the ball and focusing on the ball. So that was a big first down play. They'd like to put another score before halftime.
1st and 10 from the 33. Run the football and short yardage again. Going into that play, Borders 11 carries for 36 yards.
I'm really impressed by the defensive line play of Wesley Houck. He's been on many tackles tonight along with the linebackers. As you see him put the grips on number 1. Watch Wesley Houck get a part of him here coming up.
Still a 5-yard gain. Nice tackle by Houck. 2nd and 5. Borders now with 40 yards on 12 carries.
Well, they were lucky there to get a fumble, and they recovered their own fumble. Very, very fortunate on that direct snap.
Could have been ultra costly.
Joey Martinez recovering. Plenty of time on the clock, ticking away at 1:20. And Antelope wanted to get an insurance touchdown before halftime. Whitney wanted to play tough D.
3rd and 6 upcoming. Those linebackers are cheating up fast. He wants to pass. Heavy rush. Throws for the end zone. A breakup right near the goal line.
21 Parker right there with them. And at that time, they blitzed both backers. Heavy pressure on Bateman.
They were going for Jordan Sachow, number 3, and tremendous pressure on Bateman on that play.
You see Bateman coming to the sideline here now and discussing it with Coach Byerly.
4th and 6.
Apparently, their field goal, they might be out of range for their field goal kicker.
But 6 will give them a first down in a little less than a minute. Let's see how Coach Byerly wants to go. Good protection this time. Throw for the end zone. Whoa, overthrown slightly. That's Williams out there. He had the long touchdown reception earlier.
Well, he was running out of field, and Floyd that time was right there with him, and he had some help, his safety coming over the top. As you see Bateman coming off, took a hit in his throwing shoulder. So he's trying to move his arm around, not get stiff.
Boy, that was a 50 yards in the air. Running out of room. Floyd defending Williams after that combination was huge a few minutes ago with that long touchdown, but Floyd on him that time.
Let's see what Whitney does here with 49 seconds and timeouts remaining, whether they just want to let the half run out or try to move the ball.
Well, from their 29-yard line.
I don't think that right now it appears that Coach McNally is not going to risk giving up a score via a turnover and just let the clock run out.
So they're conservative here.
Well, they're only down 7. They don't want to give up a cheap touchdown here. Can I see him run out the clock?
20 seconds. Here's a 2nd and 10 upcoming, likely the final play of this half. Short yardage carry to the 35. And this quarter has expired. We are halfway home at the half. Host Antelope on top 7-0 over Whitney in this defensive battle. This is a Division II quarterfinal round football game. The winner advances. The loser calls it a season. And we'll hold on here. Lauren Goodman will try to have a word with Antelope head coach Mike Byerly, who I'm quite sure after that first half of action is very pleased to be taking a 7-0 lead into the locker room.
Well, I would think so. This was a defensive struggle, and hitting home on that 78-yard bomb was crucial to separate these two teams. Really, a real defensive battle by both teams, and just Whitney's got to find a way for not the penalties are killing them.
Let's bounce it down to field level and Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Well, I'm here with the leader of Antelope, Mike Byerly. Coach, you guys were able to get on the scoreboard. What did you see that gave you that call?
We saw their safeties were playing up pretty tight and adding themselves to the run box and supporting the run, so we thought we could take advantage of that.
Now, the fog is playing an impact. What do you feel like your team needs to do to withstand the fog but also make a good push in the second half?
We need to maintain our blocks, just some technical things that we need to do, play with more aggression, be consistent, and understand that this is a good football team we're playing against, and we might have to change some things and make some adjustments to be able to beat a team like this.
Awesome, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Mike Byerly, in his first year guiding the Titans, carrying a 9-0 mark into this football game, leading at 7-0 at the intermission, and we see out on the field the excellent Antelope Marching Band. Stay with us. We're at the half. Lots more to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Stop.
What did I do?
You can't flush those.
But it says flushable.
Take it away, doctor.
On the right is toilet paper that easily breaks apart. On the left, a flushable wipe.
As you can see, the wipe container may say that it's flushable, but it will still clog your pipes.
Oh, I get it now.
That's right. Flushable wipes aren't so flushable. Do the sewers a favor. Don't put the wipes in the pipes.
Well, nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. We're at the intermission here at Titan Stadium on the campus of Antelope High School with the host Titans on top 7-0 over visiting Whitney. I'm Will James along with the Imperator of Analysis, Jim Domino and Lauren Goodman, and this crowd enjoying the outstanding Antelope Marching Band here out on the field. The Antelope Marching Band. Well, we're going to do a little shift here and take a look at the weekly rankings compiled by none other than Jim Domino.
All right, here we go. In the 12th week of the season, Rockland number 1, 9-0, having a bye last week. Sheldon's over there playing tonight. Jesuit number 2. And we'll be entertaining Del Oro tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Antelope, number 3, you're seeing him tonight, 9-0 coming in a defensive battle here versus Whitney Granite Bay. At number 4, going against in a big matchup tonight with Monterey Trail. Elk Grove and Vacaville hooking up tonight. Number 7, Cap Christian, an infraction that cost them a playoff berth. Lincoln number 8, Sheldon 9, Del Oro 10, Yuba City hot at the end of the season. 11, Monterey Trail, now 6-5 after starting out 0-5, visiting up at Granite Bay, and hopefully we can get a score from that ball game. In the red zone, Vista number 13, entertaining Placer tonight. Sac High versus Manteca tomorrow, I guess. Whitney and Antelope. I take that back. They're visiting Manteca tonight. Whitney, Antelope here. Christian Brothers will play Lincoln tonight. And Wood Creek at 17. Union Mine at 18. And with a big game versus Casa Roble tonight. And then Roseville at 19 versus Oakdale, a big heavy favorite. And not the least, number 20 Dixon having a great year at 7-3, playing against Vanden tonight. And there you have it.
And there we have it, another edition of the world-famous Domino's Dozen featuring the Red Zone. Again, we are at the intermission here at Antelope High School in this Division II quarterfinal round playoff game. The host Titans on top in a hard-fought defensive battle, leading Whitney by a count of 7-0 at present time. Despite this fog and the cold and the limited visibility, festive, raucous crowd here at Titan Stadium, as well it should be this time of year, or as we probe deeper into the postseason. And a victory tonight by one of these two teams will catapult them into the semifinal round. And Jim always has the bracket nearby. So who else who is locked in to meet the winner of this game?
Well, as I look at the brackets right here in front of me, Division II, in the lower portion of this bracket tonight, Vacaville is entertaining Elk Grove, and the winner will meet Granite Bay Monterey Trail winner. The winner of this football game goes against the winner of Lodi Central Catholic. They're on top of the bracket. And whoever wins this football game tonight, playing the winner of a 1 versus 9, I'm sure we'll get a score on that game, but Central Catholic is the number 1 seed in Division II, and they play many heavyweights on their schedule. And year in, year out, even when they're 8-2 or 9-1, which is low for them, they are trouble in any bracket. So they are the favorites. Anyhow, the winner of this one, the Elk Grove Vacaville winner against Granite Bay Monterey Trail, and the winner here is going to meet the winner of Central Catholic versus Lodi.
Nice rundown, Coach. It gets real sticky at this stage of the playoffs. This second round, it thins out fast in every division.
Yes, it does. And remember this, though, the winner tonight is going to be a road team next week. And I know the Antelope fans are not happy with that and the number 4 seed, but that's the way they came out.
Well, stay with us. We're going to come back for more of our halftime coverage here of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Stop.
What did I do?
You can't flush those.
But it says flushable.
Take it away, doctor.
On the right is toilet paper that easily breaks apart. On the left, a flushable wipe.
As you can see, the wipe container may say that it's flushable, but it will still clog your pipes.
Oh, I get it now.
That's right. Flushable wipes aren't so flushable. Do the sewers a favor. Don't put the wipes in the pipes.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearing side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Welcome back. We're at the intermission here at Antelope High, and halftime score 7-0 Antelope over Whitney. Let's join Lauren Goodman down on the sideline. Goody?
Yeah, guys, I know you guys wanted an update on number 5 from Antelope. They said that he should be cleared to go, full speed, no injuries, issues there. But I also wanted to give you guys some updates around scores around the city. Right now, Lincoln is at Folsom. It's 0-10 Folsom. Placer at Vista, 7-22 Vista. Roseville at Oakdale, 0-26 Oakdale. Dixon at Vanden. Vanden big up 42-0. Sheldon at Rockland, it's 0-27 Rockland. Christian Brothers is out at Lincoln. It's a tie game, 7-7. Elk Grove has a big lead over Vacaville right now, 31-21. Patterson is up at Yuba, and they have a deadlock tie at 28-28. Casa Robles at Union Mine, and they have a 14-13 battle. Will, it's the playoffs. Back to you.
Appreciate it, Goody. Thank you very much. A lot of heavy drama around the area in this round 2. But let's take a gander at the outstanding statistics compiled by Rob Bimson here, despite the limited visibility.
Well, let's start with the rushing yards. It's even Steven there, 27-25, not many rushing yards. Passing yards, there are 3 items on this list that stand out. Passing, led by Bateman, Antelope 135-13. They're known more for their running, but tonight 135 yards to only 13. Total yards 160-140. Penalties have hurt Whitney bad. 6 for 58, and have put them in a hole numerous times after they've moved the chains via the run game or pass. Turnover 0-0, and here's another big one. Time of possession 14:31-9. Antelope has had the ball, particularly in the second period. Whitney had their chance before.
Well, that's the story there. Back down to Lauren Goodman, standing by with a special guest. Goody?
Yeah, well, I'm here with the Wildcats leader this time, Zach McNally. Coach, you guys got weather conditions, but what did you talk about with your team at halftime?
We just got to limit the big plays, and we got to sustain some drives. You know, we're kind of 2 steps forward, kind of 3 steps back. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Penalties and not being able to sustain drives, and some bad eyes and getting them some big plays. But we get the ball back in the second half, and looking to build off that first half, and get our guys the football and make some plays in open field.
Tell me something that your team needs to do first and foremost when you guys get the ball back to spark that offense that you have.
We got to stop getting in our own way. All right, penalties. All right, when it's a big play, and then we're coming back 5-10 yards. So play smart football, heads up, stay together, and finish this thing out.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in a second. Will.
Well, thank you, Goody. Coach McNally looks certainly full of energy and optimism. He's only down 7, but if you look at the total yards of 40, that won't do it. And the penalties have really killed him.
Well, remember, there were 78 yards on one play. So that is a huge part of the total yardage of Antelope.
And
huge.
30 on another on the diving catch by Cedar Hall.
Yeah, so there you have 108 yards alone. So when you think about the rest of the time, Whitney D has really played pretty good football.
They have. However, 14 minutes of possession by Antelope is still certainly important. Don't walk off. Stay right there. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What?
We are not far off from the start of second half action here at Antelope High School with Jim Domino and Lauren Goodman and our stat guru, Rob Bimson. I'm Will James. Happy to be bringing tonight's action to you, and though the action has been less than anticipated, we're blaming the fog and some tough defense by both clubs. What do you see, Jim?
Well, the officials decided, in lieu of this weather, etc., to give the teams a little more warm-up time than the conventional 15 minutes. So they've given them, appears to be, another 3, 4, 5 minutes. Told them, go ahead if you want to get loosened up more. That in lieu of the conditions, it's important that these players get warmed up properly.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Terry Lockett, of course, our game referee, and among the driving forces of the NCOA, the assigner of the crews to monitor these games, and you know, they had to endure an entire regular season of working with just a 4-person crew. Now with the playoffs and fewer teams, they're putting out the 6-person complement. But got to salute the NCOA for having to sustain solid officiating on the field despite the depleted ranks.
Yes, you do. You got to give them credit, and it's nice to see 6 officials at these playoff games. Certainly they need it. And during the year, having to work with 4, and I know you coaches of yesteryear and you fans from way back are saying, hey, we played and we saw 4-man crews, and then it became 5. Well, we got used to the 5, and then when you go back to 4, it's a little different. And certainly the more eyes we have and the control of the game and the safety of the game are important.
No question. And I really salute the NCOA and all the officiating complement, despite the diminished ranks, and certainly tonight's crew doing a whale of a job here under the dense fog. Well, teams are on the field. Kickoff forthcoming here to open the third quarter in a 7-0 game. This is a Division II quarterfinal. Winner moves on. Losing team calls it a season. So Antelope to kick. It's a pooch to the right sideline, out of bounds. Well, it's going to bring about good field position for the Whitney offense. You can see their kicker, quarterback, Bateman, not happy with that kickoff.
Now, Josiah Bateman is having a great game at quarterback tonight under the conditions when you think about it. 6 for 10, 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Borders has been held in check. For him to be held to 40 yards when he's averaging 220 a game, I would say thus far, but we got a whole half to go.
That we do, Imperator. That we do. So Jacob Smiley and the Wildcat offense out onto the field. First play from scrimmage here to open the third quarter. Big hole and a quick burst right through there. Finally tripped up and dropped inside the 45-yard line of Antelope. That was speed to burn right there.
Takahashi really bolted through a nice hole and showed me great speed and getting that ball near halfway park. A big run, their biggest run of the night.
18 yards on that scamper. Good look from the end zone, right at you. Up to the line of scrimmage, Smiley and company working downhill, but here's a whistle stopping play. The penalties in the first half were in abundance.
Well, once again, it looks like they're marching towards Whitney.
I mean, these are all potential drive busters.
Snap. Got a false start on the offense. A 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, it seems every time they go forward, they go back.
7 penalties for 63 yards. Thank you, Rob. 1st and 15 from the 48. Longer count this time. They run right. Nice line surge. Takahashi again.
He's been their workhorse tonight. Picked up the 5 that they lost. It should be back to 2nd and 10 if they gave him 5 on that run.
They call it 2nd and 11. This fog looks like it's becoming more dense. He's loose along the right sideline. Dropped inside the 10 on the biggest play of the night for Whitney. possibly Floyd or
Takahashi. It's a little tough to pick out the numbers in the fog.
A little tough. 38 yards. And that sets up Whitney first and goal from the 6.
Well, Coach McNally said the first drive of the game in the second half is huge.
He's going to throw, gets away from the big rush, and scampers to the right and gets something out of nothing. They had him back there at the 20-yard line.
They certainly did, and it looks like he worked his way down to about somewhere close to the 6-7 yard line.
The line of scrimmage was the 6, so he really got off the hook there. That could have been.
That was a great scamper by Smiley, yes. Yes, he could have taken a 5-yard loss there easy. Smiley with a great effort.
So he gets his ball club back to the line of scrimmage.
Coach McNally is sending Smiley to the sidelines now. They are near the sideline, but they better get this play off here. They don't need to delay a game, really, here.
They run right, and it's stacked.
Well, it was they were waiting for that play. The D had it perfect, and certainly they were waiting on. Looked like they were waiting on Takahashi at that time.
3rd and goal from the 6, no gain. So 2 no gainers. The first one, though, could have been a huge loss.
Well, they can't afford to come out of this red zone without points.
Well, Smiley likes to throw the football. Let's see. Into the end zone. Floyd, untouched. Touchdown, Wildcats off left tackle.
Well, I don't think the defense even noticed him in the backfield.
I saw him in the backfield, and I was looking to see if Smiley was still in there, and I'm not sure he was.
Well, Roman Floyd showed what an athlete he is. He made that look easy. Just waltzed in. I don't know if anybody touched him.
So the PAT is good, and we are tied at 7. Here's another look. No, he took the direct snap. I thought that was a different alignment, and just took it right to the house. Roman Floyd, and we are tied at 7. Don't go away. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
$145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it, or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Well, we got us a new ball game here. We're tied at 7, and I know Whitney is going to have their defense revved up now after getting that score on offense.
Well, Coach said, you know what? We've got to square away, adjust some things, eliminate the penalties, and play solid football without mistakes. So, quite
unsportsmanlike penalty here, moves up the kickoff way up. Evidently a touchback on the short kick. So 8:26 early here in the third. New ball game. We're tied at 7. Antelope, a long touchdown pass in the second quarter to take the lead. And a short 6-yard burst by Whitney's Roman Floyd tied this one at 7-7.
Takahashi's 2 big runs set it up, though. An 18-yard run and a 38-yard run were the top plays thus far for the Wildcats.
Okay, so back on the attack from the 20. Antelope's offense.
Big line splits.
Short yardage.
Once again, Borders.
Williams perhaps in the ball game at that point.
Yes, it looked like Williams. Again, note the huge A gap on the right side between guard center and B gap between guard and tackle on the right side and left. And that opens up some natural holes.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7, breakthrough, and nearly to the 30.
Well, again, I'm surprised they're not blitzing linebackers into the gaps because there definitely are line splits are picking up. Watch Borders here. Hard running north-south.
So he gained 6 on the play, 3rd and 1. Elk Grove continuing to lead Vacaville, 31-21.
Well, there's a misplay in the backfield with a fumble.
Oh. Antelope fortunate to fall on the football. See if we can see what happened here.
Well, it looked like a muff snap.
Oh, right through the breadbasket, right through his hands. Tough luck for Bateman and the Titans. 4th and 4 now, punt formation shown. Gets the punt off. Pretty good distance on that. So Bateman boots him out of trouble after bobbling the snap. 42 yards on that punt. But it gives Whitney 1st and 10 and continuing momentum. They get the touchdown and the stop.
They did, and we got ourselves a ball game here. Whitney in pretty decent field position there. Antelope lining up here with their 4-man front.
They have motion in the backfield and the handoff on the sweep. Tough running there. Got to credit Anthony Parker.
Yes, it looked like they had him for a 1-yard loss, and it looked like he picked up maybe 3 or 4. Excellent effort by Parker.
No doubt. Tough on D, Joseph Martinez. We'll take another look at this effort by Parker. It's a tough way to gain 2. Right there, they had him. 2nd and 8 from the 34. 5:40 to go, flip side of quarter number 3, a 7-7 tie.
Here's a draw play.
He's loose. Big yardage. Takahashi is having the big-time game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Takahashi picked up about probably another 15, 30 on that play, and that puts him over the 100-yard marker.
Here's the replay.
Watch that draw.
Nobody home on the outside.
Takahashi goes over the 100-yard marker.
So they're set up nicely. 1st and 10 at the Titan 36. They run right. Big yardage.
But it looks like the open field tackling has, again, Whitney has found something there that they like. And they're running off tackle consistently.
See if we can pick this up on this. Okay, they're going with Phoenix Rose, it looks like, on a reverse.
Yes, Phoenix Rose with that counter back reverse showed excellent speed. They're turning the corner.
1st and 10 at the Titan 18, on the move again. They run left this time, lots of running room, big room to the 5, touchdown Wildcats!
Parker
from 18 yards. Well, they sure did find something.
No, they are running off tackle with consistency in the line blocking.
Well, this is going to be neutralized, I believe. Let's see if we can see the hold on the replay. That's Farms, 18, being taken out there. Had to be away from the football.
Offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 1st down.
Well, the Titans dodge a cannonball. Neutralize the touchdown. 10 from the spot of the foul.
Well, the blocking up front and the perimeter blocking on the part of the Wildcats is picked up. They found, as mentioned, they found something here they can run off tackle with. They're also running counters back.
1st and 15 upcoming. And that play wiped out.
No, they put Wildcat Floyd in there and nowhere to go.
So I guess they lost some on that. 2nd and 16. They lost a yard. Football at the Antelope 24. Okay. Jacob Smiley likes to throw the football. Let's see. Floyd's in a
Floyd's
quarterback.
still in there.
So got to wonder now about Smiley. It's Takahashi in motion. He keeps it though.
Nowhere for Floyd to go. I'm amazed here that Takahashi's not touching the football or Rose, and Floyd with 2 straight no gains.
Well, we're at the 4-minute mark here, later in the 3rd quarter. Make it 3rd and 16 from the 24. No gain.
They got to be careful here because they could put them out of field goal range if they do want to go with the field goal, Will.
Well, in this kind of a game, a field goal is valuable.
It seems like Floyd is far more effective in the red zone than he is here.
He has thrown 2 touchdown passes this year.
A little confusion in the backfield.
Major confusion. What's he going to do here? Throw for the end zone. Intercepted. No, incomplete, I guess. Watson again. Trayvon Watson.
Trayvon saved there because they had a receiver. If we see this again, it looked like the receiver had a piece of the ball. Trayvon with a great defensive play.
Now that was Smiley back into the lineup that threw that, right? Okay, so.
Smiley was in there. No field goal kicking team on the field.
4th and 16. All or nothing here. Well, they could hit a 1st down. They're at the 24. Boy, this is a clutch play here. Bad snap. Smiley's after it and bobbles it. cannot recover, and the Titans have it outside the Antelope 40. How about that? And it's Farms, Amir Farms, with the fumble recovery. He's been dynamite all season on defense for the Titans.
Well, they dodged the bullet there. The touchdown call back. Amir Farms recovering, had a great year. Got a bad snap. Smiley dives on it, muffs it, and here comes Farms. But they dodged the bullet between the muffs, the touchdown call back. Wow.
Yes, they did. All that is correct and true. Amir Farms. So the Antelope offense back on the field. It's 1st and 10, the football at the Titan 42. Trying to get wide, and there's no way in the world. The Wildcats were all over that.
Brandon Wong is probably, to me, one of the top 5 backers I've seen this year. He is all over the field making tackles. He is quick. Phillips is just as quick. Very impressive pair of backers.
They lose 9 on the play, all the way back to their 33.
As you see here, there's a pitch back, and, of course, they're all over it. Wong and company.
So they're looking at a 2nd and 19, still in decent field position to operate from their 33. Obvious passing down. Let's see about the blitz.
Yeah. Will he go long to Parker again?
He may not have time to go long. Holding declined, huh? Okay. So the busted play worked just as good as penalty yardage. Here we go. 2nd and 19. Well, the carry's going out to nearly the 45-yard line. They picked up about 12 there.
It looked like they went to Williams out there, picking up, as mentioned, some of that lost yardage.
Okay, we're looking at a 3rd and 8 from the 44. Just 1:20 left here in the 3rd. Bateman has all night to throw. Deep throw up for grabs.
Good coverage by number 9 down the field, Phoenix Rose.
Well covered, incomplete. 4th and 8.
Now, Coach Byerly doesn't look like he's going to make changes here. He may run a long count, trying to maybe get encroachment from the Wildcats here. But he's definitely in a punt formation with his punt team on the field unless they short snap it.
High snap, big rush. And the punter knocked down hard on that.
You got a great bounce.
That's going to be a penalty. Roughing the kicker, I imagine, because he went down hard. And being attended to now by a teammate.
I don't see any flags down there.
Terry Lockett.
We only have running into the kicker, so it'll...
Well, there are 2 distances that can be called here on the penalty. This one was running into the kicker, a 5-yard penalty, not a first down. So,
however, Antelope will be in a position where perhaps they would go for it.
So they're looking like at a 4th and 3. So the football near midfield, and we'll see what Coach Byerly wants to do.
Into the kicker on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
So 4th and 3 now, different than 4th and 8.
Big difference.
Well, is it time to roll the dice here with less than a minute in the third at this position on the field?
Well, once again, I think it depends how much confidence you have in your defense if you don't make it. Okay? So Bateman's on the sideline
Yes,
and
he
getting
is.
instruction, and who knows? He may even quick kick it if he had to kick. He may actually try to long count to see if he can draw them off and give them a first down.
And they do have a set play for him to throw out of punt formation. Less than a minute here in the third. They're not showing punt at all. Oh, my goodness.
Now they're giving up the ball in field position here. Credit that Whitney D.
You bet. That didn't work. Okay. Tough D by the Wildcats, who penalized themselves out of a touchdown just a short time ago, but now they've got the pill back in great field position.
Well, thus far, with only 47 seconds remaining here in this third quarter, thus far, I'd say the Wildcats pretty much dominated this third quarter play.
Most assuredly. So the football at the Titan 48-yard line, 47 seconds to go here in the quarter. We're tied at 7. Defense has dominated this football game, and fog has complicated this game.
Apparently there's a conference going on that we're timeout. I believe our head referee's on the sideline with Coach McNally explaining something. I don't know what's going on, but he is not out there.
Okay, 1st and 10. A lob pass, incomplete. He's going for Brandon Wong there. Unusual in that he does have 5 receptions, 4 of them for touchdowns, but a total of less than 50 yards in those 4 catches. But
well, there was really no pressure on the quarterback there, and he's still throwing off his back foot with a man wide open. It just, I know Coach McNally would like to have that play back, and so would the quarterback. So let's see what they do on 2nd and long. He's going more with Floyd here.
Yes, he is.
That's the second one he's muffed. That snap was perfect, Will.
My. Well, this fog has become thicker. Well, let's take a look and see.
There's the muff by Floyd.
Oh, my goodness. He sure recovered that pretty fast.
Yes, he did. Something went out of bounds over there, if we're going to find out here.
After the play, we got a dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. That's a 15-yard penalty, results in a first down. 59. 59.
Not good. And they point the finger at Xavier Mares, one of the top defenders on Antelope.
Oh, we still have Floyd in the backfield, I believe. No?
They'll run it up the middle. Floyd angles to the right. Nice gain there. So Roman Floyd making his presence known at the quarterback position as the third period slides away here from Titan Stadium. And I doubt if they'll get off another play. So we have played 3 here at Antelope High School in this D2 quarterfinal round playoff. All tied up at 7. Don't go away. Fourth quarter drama dead ahead.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We have entered the twilight zone, fourth quarter, evolving here, and Whitney has had their second best opportunity to take the lead here. We're tied at 7, but the Wildcats are looking at a 2nd and 3 from the Titan 19 here. Floyd keeps it after a fake and gets dropped. Loose football. Whitney fortunate to recover that. Maybe Takahashi on the spot for that recovery.
Very fortunate, and we've got some real sloppy ball handling on the part of Floyd. As gifted an athlete as he is, he's having issues with the snaps, etc.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's precipitation with this mist. You know there's got to be wet football and wet ground. No doubt. We saw Bateman.
Well, this is true. I think it's just plain focus and concentration here. And I think Smiley's back in the ball game.
It goes to Floyd. Takahashi works left, finds a hole. To the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats on a 20-yard burst. Takai Takahashi. And the Wildcats have their first lead of the ball game. It comes in the first minute of the fourth quarter. On for the PAT. And got it. 14-7 Whitney. Here's the Takahashi TD run. Broke a little arm tackle there and speeds to the corner. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Okay. Here's the ensuing kickoff for Whitney. The return. Here's a hole and near side running. Yanked down on a hard tackle around the head. But a great return.
Trayvon Watson showed me something there. A very gifted athlete and almost broke it.
That was a hard takedown. However, it was horse collar looking.
Well, we're waiting for play to ensue. Takahashi, number 4, having a great second half.
First down.
They waved it off.
124 yards and 1 touchdown, showing me great moves, speed, and you better tackle him in the open field, Will. He showed that he can shed those tackles.
No doubt, and he had the burst. So, 1st and 10 for Antelope. This is the first time the offense has been looking at a deficit. They're down 14-7 here. But open shop with good field position from their 44. They run right, strung out. Nothing doing.
Well, I can tell you this, that that defensive 11 that they have on the field is all over the place. They're shedding blocks like crazy. And as Coach talked about it at halftime, Coach Byerly said, we've got to sustain our blocks better. This was beginning to show at the end of the second quarter. He was very concerned about it during his halftime talk. And you can see evidence of that, Will, because that defense is shedding their blocks.
Well, let's see. I wonder if fatigue is playing a factor at this point in time. They lose 3.
The play change.
Well, this play is blown dead. Looks like -5 against the Titans. Second and 18 now.
Been a lot of pressure by the Wildcats, and they pursue to the football real well, holding Borders to his low of the year.
Bateman to throw, scrambling, keeping, running. Noble effort, short yardage. He crosses the 40, picks up about 5 on the play. See where they spot him.
Big third down play here. This is a big one. They've got to make up the difference here and make a big play.
3rd and 15 from the 39. They load up the left side here, but he throws right. Has a receiver who breaks loose and gets across midfield.
That was a great play after the catch. That was a key move.
That looks like Cedar Hall.
Great moves after the catch.
1st and 10, Brandon Cedar Hall with the grab and run. Oh, they didn't make it. They're shy by a couple. 4th and a couple. They need 2 here. Well, this is where you really get down to the grit. Still a long way to go with nearly 9 minutes. However, at the way this defense has been playing, cannot assume anything. They need 2 here or more. Turn and give. Appears
he looks
to be
short. Unless he gives him a great mark.
No, they came up short.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless he gave him a great mark.
They don't even need to measure. Well, mark that play in the book. Unable to get the 2.
No, anytime, you figure you got a guy like Borders, you're going to move the chains all the time. But right now, we got a long way to go, Will. But it appears Whitney's saying that we're not going to let Borders beat us. They came into that game with that philosophy.
First and 10 from the Whitney 47. They run right. And Takahashi turns the corner, cuts back and gets loose for more. Still on his feet. Tightrope ride to the 5, to the 10. He's in there. Was he out of bounds? Got a penalty marker dropped near the 20. Takai Takahashi.
Yes. Is he having a night?
He sure is. The penalty is against Whitney. That was a spectacular sideline tiptoe job.
53-yarder, and he used all the moves in the book of plus tight roping, as you mentioned, Will.
On the offense, at the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, it still results in a first down.
That was perhaps the most spectacular run of the evening.
Well, I think they're over 100 yards of penalties. Are they, or close?
Very close. So they're at the first and 10 from the Antelope 30. This has boiled down to the nitty-gritty game we thought we'd have. Well, that play is stuffed.
No, nowhere for 13 to go. Giving Takahashi a break here and giving a little playing time to Lorenzo Young and giving Takahashi a break here. I can understand why.
No gain, second and 10. Correction, loss of 2.
I think Whitney's got to be smart here, keeping the ball on the ground, using the clock, and play solid D.
Well, they're up 7 with 7.5 to go. Driving. They work left, and here's a cutback.
Parker on an inside handoff, picking up yardage.
The momentum has swung dramatically since that point in time.
Oh, yes, very definitely. It began to show, as we see it play again, began to show late in the second quarter. As you watch Parker here, a great cutback, breaks a tackle, picks up additional yards, carrying 2 or 3 guys with him, about 4 or 5 more yards.
Well, we're looking at like a 3rd and 3 here from the 23. 3rd and less than 3 maybe. Antelope absolutely has to slam the door here to hang in this game.
I cannot believe the snap and the play they used here. Wow, talk about, did they forget how they got there?
Yes. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. There's Takahashi's played brilliantly this evening.
Oh, he has. but I don't like the ball handling here on the snap.
The clock rolls at the 6-minute mark. 4th and 10 from the 30. Huge play. Antelope needs a stop. Big hole. Floyd struggling and finally shoved back.
No, it's too many yards for him to get on that kind of a call. He's short of the yardage. Short of it. The ball's going to change hands here. I'm a little surprised with that play.
Well, conservative. And
very conservative, because you expect to pick up maybe 4 to 6 to 8 yards, but you don't expect to pick up 12 yards on that play.
No. So the Titan offense back onto the field. They're down 7 with 5.5 to go. Plenty of time, but their big playmakers so far, with one exception, have been neutralized. Triple wide receivers to the near side. Long count. You just cannot shake loose. Too much pursuit and a missed block.
If you watch this defense get to the football and shed blocks, and they've got 4 or 5 guys around the ball all the time, and as if we stated before, there's Parker limping a little bit off that one.
The hole wasn't there, and he tried to bounce, but Wong cut that off and then got help. Loss of 2. Make it 2nd and 12. Less than 5 minutes now. Williams comes wide to the near side. Pump fake, deep throw, home run derby. Short, picked and run, and this is going to be an Antelope touchdown. Oh my goodness, touchdown Titans. Oh, Damarion Williams again. 76 yards, airmail special. Bateman to Williams.
Well, I want to see the replay and see the defender's hand right in there, and Williams made a great play. The defender was right there with him.
He was, and did get turned around. They're going for 2, Coach. This is their house. Oh, no. Okay, they're lined up for the standard PAT. Let's see. Chip shot on the way. Got it. Okay, another look at the deep throw from Bateman to Williams. Pump fake, wind up, and hum. That was something right there. Yeah. I'll swear that junior receiver is having the big night. Damarion Williams. We'll be back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Big speed on the return, and then finally stopped near the 30-yard line. We are tied at 14 with 4:13 remaining. This crowd has been treated and tantalized at the same time.
Well, yes, they have. And there's one time where they gave Bateman plenty of time to throw the football and put it up and let the air and let Williams run to the football. And then we couldn't identify that defender that went down. And whether he would have got a piece of the ball, who knows. But it's history. Williams made a great catch and touchdown.
Great catch. He had to adjust on that, and he turned all the way around. That was spectacular. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 30. Nice gain.
First down, nice play. I like that play. Got the ball away early. And off to number 9, Phoenix Rose. We haven't heard too much about Phoenix Rose. He's had a great year. He's a young sophomore. He's scored 2 touchdowns coming into this ball game, and he's got a great future here with Whitney.
Gain of 11. Clock rolling, less than 4 minutes remaining. Wildcats break their huddle, football at their own 41.
That's a surprising call.
When was the last time we saw Smiley?
Well, not in a while, but they're keying on Floyd. There's nowhere for him to go. And he runs very high. He's a gifted athlete, but he runs extremely high. And to me, once again, he is a definite threat running the football, but they haven't gotten the ball on the receiving end. Smiley to Floyd.
No, they haven't. And credit part of that early in the football game to Watson's one-on-one coverage.
Oh, yeah. Watson is one of the better cornerbacks I've seen this year. Definitely.
And another sophomore. So
we've seen some good softs here tonight. Smiley, Rose, outstanding. Of course, Watson. We've seen some good-looking sophomores that have a bright future at their respective schools.
2nd and 9 from the 42.
That's a great run, clutch run in there again. Once again, for Takahashi has really rose to the occasion the second half.
Let's take a look at the fake, and the defense followed the runner to the outside on the sweep.
Watch him turn inside. He cut on a dime, makes that nice cut. Well, Coach talked to me about him during the week, that he said he has gotten better as the season progressed. He runs hard. 159 yards for the night for number 4, Takahashi.
Good gain up the middle, breaking tackles and lurching forward.
Well, again, Floyd running very high. I'm just the timing and the handoff and faking to Takahashi is kind of questionable, and really the ball handling of Floyd, he's not used to that quarterback position, I think.
Or was that Takahashi getting there late? I don't know, but that was not...
timing was a little off there.
2nd and 6 from the Antelope 43. Time getting tight with 2:15 to go. Fake the throw, run it up the middle. That's close to first down yardage, I believe.
Takahashi has just been amazing. He's getting yardage even with very little there.
Let's take another look. Takahashi.
Here you see him. Nice tackle in the open field.
Holding on to that ball with both hands. 1st and 10 from the 36. Grinding it out. Here he comes near side. Wow, that is a ball carrier right there.
Well, he smells it, and he's just, he gets vertical plus yards.
There's the toss. He read the play, saw the hole, and turned on the heat.
Took a pretty good belt there in the open field.
Let's come back in just a moment and continue the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right? Probably okay isn't okay. Right? If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Second and 2 from the Antelope 28. Whitney on the move here. We're tied at 14, 1:29 to go. A toss. It's cut off and stuffed.
Well, I'm a little surprised they run that toss with such short yardage.
After a called timeout.
Yes, I'm very surprised at that call because you got to get the ball to him early and not delayed and let pursuit catch up.
So apparently in the back-to-back timeouts, and we'll be right back for more of this Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're tied at 14.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Third and 3 from the 28. They throw on the run. Incomplete. Well, Coach Domino, what did you think about that play?
Well, running to the far sideline like that, it's a very questionable play, a tough play for the quarterback, and the receiver lined up, had no room to make a move. Middle of the field, wide open. So you string a play out like that, and I don't know if too many good things happen. So let's see what happens on fourth down.
Well, we're coming down to cases here. Just 1:17 left. If Whitney fails to cash in here, good bet for overtime. Here we go. Possible key play of the entire game. 4th and 3. They run right and get plenty. But what do we see here? Another penalty. Oh, my goodness. If there's been any Achilles, it's this. The penalty against Whitney. Again, they must be over 100 yards.
Oh, they've got to be over 100 yards.
3 or 4 holding calls. So, the Takahashi run wiped out.
On the offense, that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 4th down.
So 4th and 13 from the 38. 4th and 15 make it. And now, with that extra yardage, anything they try is going to be a riskier play. Let's see how they handle this. Everybody standing. Direct snap, throw over the middle, complete, but an immediate tackle, and he's short. Parker with the grab.
That was open much earlier, what we talked about. So it was there anytime they wanted it.
Check it out. Here's the... Well, that was a clutch tackle right there.
But the penalty is what hurt them bad.
It killed him. Christian Martinez. And we'll have to examine the overtime rules because with 52 seconds left, there's a good bet here for OT. Let's see what Antelope tries here. Well, this has been quite a ball game. Well, Antelope has wriggled off the hook twice.
I don't see them throwing. They got to be very careful here in what they do. They might be better off just going to OT and not gambling here, giving up a pick or fumble.
2 timeouts left.
Yeah.
Let's see how they try to spend this 48 seconds. Fog remaining as dense as ever. Bateman throws to the near sideline. Sliding catch. And Williams again with the reception.
Yeah, he's in bounds. They're going to have to use one of their timeouts, definitely.
They do. Now that leaves them with 1 here. 39 seconds on the clock. We're going to see if we can read Byerly's mind here. 3rd and 2 upcoming. And the football parked near the 40. So you're right about the risk, but we'll see if Coach Byerly has a little bit of the riverboat gambler in him and elects to roll the dice.
Well, I know in my day, when I had Bimson and company, I would be going for it. But the question is, if you have those kind of guys.
That is the question. Rob Bimson, former standout for Coach Camino's El Camino Eagles. And we got him lined up now with 39 seconds. What in the world? Here's a tremendous play. A scramble and a desperation play. Did he get out of bounds? Another penalty. I believe Terry Lockett's going to tell us. Well, we are awaiting an official call to sort this out. This comes at a point with just 30 seconds left in regulation. Here's some clarification.
Multiple fouls on the play. We got an illegal block in the back on the offense. That is accepted. Then after the play, we have a dead ball and sportsmanlike on the visiting team. We'll enforce that 15 yards. And we'll replay 3rd down.
Thanks, Terry. Terry Lockett from the Northern California Officials Association with a full explanation. I wouldn't say those are offsetting. So all right. Thanks for the arithmetic, Rob. That'll bring about a 3rd and 3 with a calculation of a penalty on each ball club. Crowd really in an uproar right now. Winner of this ball game advances to the semifinals on the road
versus the winner of Central Catholic and Lodi.
On 3rd and 3, Bateman fires to the right sideline. Complete. They hustle. The clock stopping momentarily at 24 seconds. That has to be a first down. 1st and 10.
Did he get out of bounds?
Well, the clock holds at 24 seconds. Apparently he did. Let's take another look and see if we can spot this. Bateman fires. What a play. The fog is becoming much worse. To the end zone. A miracle catch inside the 5. Borders. 16.3 left in this one. The gain inside the 5-yard line. Here's another look. Over the middle. Oh, I see. The gadget play we spoke of.
Yes.
Look at that fight for the ball. Lordy. 11.4. Football inside the 5. Now we've got heavy discussion here. Terry Lockett, our game referee, speaking with Coach Byerly. Okay.
Did not realize they had a timeout left.
Well, next week, don't want to get ahead of ourselves too much, but we'll be covering a semifinal round ball game Friday, November 19th. Check your listings. But as you can see, Comcast and Consolidated, Channel 17, AT&T Uverse, Channel 14, and the NFHS Network will bring it to you. .4. The Titans come to the line of scrimmage. They've got the best back in the section. Football at the 4-yard line, lining up for a field goal, apparently. Bateman to do the booting. They'll spot it at the 11, call it a 21-yarder. Special teams on the hook right now, but whistles are going to prevent this play. Likely a timeout taken by Whitney. It is. All right, Coach Domino. We've got a 1st and goal at the 4. 1st and goal at the 4. And 1st and goal at the 4. 11.4 left. We've got Bateman onto the field to do the booting. Don't know how many field goals he's attempted this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's his first. They really haven't been needed in the games they've played. So, do they kick? Do they fake? Do they change the play in the timeout?
Well, with that timeout, it gives both teams an opportunity to see what the other team is doing. So when they come back, if you have a lot of trust in Bateman, and you feel he can kick it and win the football game, it'll give them very little time to even have another play. Once again, they've keyed Borders all. You can say what you want. Borders made a great catch there, and he's their meal ticket, but Whitney has stopped him in his run game and held him to his lowest all year long. So with that again, now they've lined up and they're going for it.
They've changed the play to the end zone. He's in. He's in. Antelope scores with 11 seconds left. Borders takes it home after setting that up with the great catch inside the 5. 20-14.
Now, with no timeouts left for the other team, I'm sure Coach McNally would like to rescind his timeout because he'd rather them kick for the field goal than score that touchdown.
No doubt. With 7 seconds remaining, the PAT evidently missed. We'll be right back.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Okay, Antelope kickoff forthcoming. 7 seconds left. Apparently out of bounds. With that long bomb, Bateman's up to 168 yards passing with 3 bombs, all resulting directly or indirectly in touchdowns. Okay, on the hook, Zach McNally's Spirited Wildcats, who apparently had this game in good shape late in the fourth quarter, are now looking uphill at a 6-point deficit.
Well, they had 2 touchdowns called back tonight, and that has hurt them. That has haunted them with those penalties.
Okay, here we go. All or nothing. Pass over the middle. Complete, an immediate tackle, and the clock has expired. This one is over as Antelope has come back to capture a dramatic 20-14 victory over the scrappy Whitney Wildcats, and will advance to the section semifinals in 1 week, and they'll be on the road to do it. But the jubilation here is amazing as they pulled this one out of the fire with clutch play. And as you say, Coach Domino, penalty-laden Whitney really costing themselves a number of times.
Very costly. And Antelope coming up with 13 points in the fourth quarter and moving ahead and winning this football game with very little left on the clock. Whitney unable to cash in, actually dominating most of the second half, except for the last few minutes of this football game when Antelope rose to the occasion. And quarterback Bateman showed a lot there coming down the stretch.
He did. He was under pressure, and the occasions when he was playing behind, They really showed some calm and composure, and certainly no small achievement for a junior quarterback playing at playoff time against a dynamite defense.
Very definitely. And so both teams here displayed a lot of physicality on a cold, damp night and survived. And it's amazing that the passes in the end meant the difference. And catching the ball in this fog is not easy.
No, it's not. You see the good sportsmanship there. Two hot ball clubs. A shame one had to lose it, but we were treated to a fine football game here and have now further appreciation for the defensive side of the football. Stay with us. When we come back for our post-game segment, Lauren Goodman will be visiting with our players of the game and winning coach Mike Byerly. We'll be right back.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Pandemonium still raining heavily here at Antelope High School. The aftermath of a thrilling football game, a Division II quarterfinal round playoff. Host Antelope pulling one out of the fire against a terrific Whitney ball club, winning it 20-14, scoring the game-clinching touchdown with just 11 seconds remaining after trailing late in the fourth quarter. Clutch play by a number of the Titans and costly penalties that really undid Whitney, particularly the two that canceled out touchdowns.
Well, yes, and it took away, not to be denied, Takahashi had a phenomenal night, particularly in the second half, where he went for over 170 yards in the second half with some great runs, great balance, great runs. And it's just, you can see how close these two teams match up. Whitney finishing tied between third and fourth in their league against unbeaten Antelope, and certainly came in here tonight and showed they could play with them.
They certainly did. Let's turn our attention down to field level. Lauren Goodman has some exceptional players. Lauren?
Well, it's a sea of red out here, and I got both of the Antelope coach and the star player of the game tonight. Let me start here with Demarion. Man, you had a big game. Obviously, everybody knew number one, Karan was going to be the one to stop. What was your focus coming into the game to help your team out?
It was just win. You know, we're a championship team. We practice every day hard, and it pays off. And, yeah.
Now, you had a big catch there at the end of the game, got your team going, momentum big. When your number is called like that, what are you thinking about when you're lining up and trying to focus and make those catches?
I'm going to win every 50-50 ball. That's what I think. My confidence and my teammates, I trust them.
There were some moments in the game there where it was getting kind of scary, right? You guys got down, then you tied it up. What were you saying to your team on this sideline here?
The game's not over. Keep your heads up. We can still win this. We're a championship squad.
Well, congratulations, man. Go celebrate with your team. Coach, got that playoff win, first one under your belt. It's a big-time win. Now, they didn't make it easy for you in no way, shape, or fashion. Tell me how you feeling right now, Coach.
I'm feeling fortunate to be here. That's a great football team right there. Any team would represent the next level and do a great job. I'm just proud of how actually both teams played today. Both teams played with a lot of heart. I'm really proud of these Antelope kids.
Coach, your team responded big there. What was your thought process with the play calling, trying to go more pass? Obviously, they stopped Karan, so that changed your kind of normal offensive sets.
Yeah, I would say I called my most unconventional game of the season so far. We had to pull into – we had a lot of plays that we've practiced that we've never run in a game situation, and we pulled them all out of the bag tonight.
I know this is a special win for you guys, but it's not over, Coach. How do you lock in and take the momentum you have from this game to take it to that semifinal round?
Well, I heard Central Catholic won, so they're the favorite, and we love that. We love going to a game where we're the underdogs and we have an opportunity to prove ourselves and see how we match up against a great football team. So we're excited about that.
Congrats, Coach, on that first playoff win. Go to your team, man. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Certainly understandable joy there on their faces. Demarion Williams, an outstanding junior receiver and kick return specialist. And Coach Byerly could not be happier right now. It was one of the big times. Not with us in the post-game interviews was the sensational performance running back Takai Takahashi of the Wildcats. He really put on a show, running for 172 yards on 18 carries, and with no disrespect to their O-line, a hunk of that yardage by Takahashi was individual when plays were broken, and he did it on his own. And as a tandem for Antelope, junior quarterback Josiah Bateman, under heavy pressure from that determined defense, had a big night, stayed calm in the pocket, took some hits, and hooked up for 3 deep balls that ultimately were huge scoring opportunities for the Titans. Bateman with a pair of touchdown aerial connections and superlative performance by the junior QB.
Well, it certainly was, and particularly in the clutch when he had to. In the fourth quarter, he came up big. He ended the night, like you said, 11 for 17, 263, 2 TDs, but when they really counted. Yes, Whitney came in there. They stopped Borders, giving up only 42 yards on 20 carries. And, yes, they did pretty much take him out of the game, although he did come up with a huge clutch catch down there by the goal line, setting it up. Huge. And he's not that tall, but he made sure he was going to get the football, Will, and that set up their winning touchdown.
That was a sensational catch, one of the best we've seen, particularly at the point of the game. Don't wander off. We'll be right back for a little bit more here of our postgame and wrap it up. Stay with us.
What are you doing?
Pouring out this milk?
That's fog. You can't put that in your pipes. It'll totally ruin them.
What's fog?
Fog, or fats, oils, and grease, range from a number of items that could damage your pipes, such as fatty foods, oils and grease, milk and dairy products.
How do I dispose of it then?
To properly dispose of grease, wait till it's cooled and pour it in a can. Then throw it away. Also remember to throw out scraps as well.
What am I supposed to do with this?
I can take that off your hands. To learn more on how to protect your pipes, visit sacksewer.com.
Rivers and streams support many land and sea animals. These species need fresh and clean water to sustain life, and many eat the fish that live in the rivers. However, many of these animals can die or become seriously ill due to the seemingly harmless water. Why is this? Many people decide to flush their unused or expired medication down the toilet, which carries the harmful chemicals inside of them into the rivers, poisoning the animals and destroying the ecosystem. Please take your unused medication to biohazard waste containers in order to dispose of them properly. Visit don'tflushyourmeds.com for more information.
Welcome back to our post-game segment. It has been a real thriller here at Antelope High School in this Division II quarterfinal round ball game. And Antelope emerges with a 20-14, a dramatic victory over Whitney High School, and certainly a game that could have gone either way. And let's take a look at the numbers here in tonight's ball game. The final stats compiled by Rob Bimson, of course, and they're quite revealing.
Well, as you look at the rushing yards, 24 only for Antelope, which they've been averaging over 200 yards a game, and 223, of which Takahashi had close to 200 of that total. Passing yards, 300 for Antelope to 44. Total yards, reasonably close. First downs, 10 more for the Whitney Ball Club to 6. Penalties, wow, way out of hand. 776 and then 12 at 111. They cost them all night, and particularly cost them 2 touchdowns called back, but due to penalties. Turnovers, 1 fumble by Whitney, and no turnovers for Antelope. And then look at the time of possession. It was heavily in favor of Antelope in the first half, Will, and it ended up almost even, 24-23, 23-37. And Bateman got hot in the end where he threw for 141 yards in the last 5 minutes of the football game.
Well, I'd say that's pretty clutch for a junior quarterback playing in this type of adversity and having basically been hounded and pounded by that Whitney defense all night, and then having to deal with the poor visibility that his receivers had to endure and the slippery football conditions from the mist of the fog. So,
yes.
2 juniors pitching and catching, Bateman to Williams on 3 big plays, and then, of course, that tremendous catch inside the 5 near the end by Borders. So the passing game really came through late, and despite the conditions, you have to really compliment the Antelope skill position players for that.
Well, yes, they got half of that 300 yards almost in the last 5 minutes of the football game in the fourth quarter to win. I'd say so. I'd say Bateman came through when he had to and credit that line to give him extra protection. And then Williams, as you said, Williams and Borders with unbelievable clutch catches.
And unexpectedly, though not surprising, Takahashi was the best running back tonight. That was a spirited effort there, largely individual on the end of a number of those carries where there was no blocking whatsoever, and he just did it by himself. And probably one of the more spectacular runs all season on that sideline tightrope ride right in front of us for about 60 yards.
That was definitely one of our highlight runs of this season, I would say, Will. I put it in the top 3 probably this season.
Well, it was a dynamite game tonight, a real crowd pleaser. Everyone here was treated, and I'm sure our viewing audience got strung out like everybody else here and enjoyed this one. Next week, we'll be bringing you a semifinal playoff game in this CIF Sac Joaquin section run. Can't tell you what it's going to be right now, but you can best believe it'll be our best choice. And tonight, in a thriller, it was a late comeback by host Antelope after leading early. They got on the hook and took themselves off the hook with a couple late touchdowns to finally prevail by a score of 20-14 over Whitney High School. Many thanks to our accommodations here at Antelope High School. Jordan Martinez, the athletic director, took care of us very well. We sure appreciate it. And my thanks to our Dynamite broadcast crew, Director Gary Martin, and fellow announcers Jim Domino, the Imperator of Analysis, Lauren Goodman, our Dynamite statistics guru, Rob Bimson, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew. I'm Will James. We thank you for tuning in this evening and look forward to the next occasion when we can cross your path. So long, everyone.